Weather Words is a production of The Reporter, Delaware County's leading news source.
Good day to everybody, and it will once the fog burns off behind me. As you can see, looking up toward my field, it's totally fog bound. You know, it only developed about an hour and a half ago. But what that really means is there's a lot of moisture in the air, and we just reached the dew point. So when you reach the dew point, you can now see it. Once it warms up out there, it'll disappear. But then what we're going to have is called humidity. So it's still going to be there until nature does something about it. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. When I spoke to everybody on Monday, we did get to 73 degrees. We also got 0.2 of an inch of rain. And then we had a rather chilly Monday night because we got to 44 to start the next morning. And we only got to 72. Now understand, 72 at this time of the year is almost 10 degrees below normal. Okay, we're supposed to be anywhere from 78 to about 82 depending on where you are in the county. Well, we haven't been that in a while. It is up and coming, but not for very long. Anyway, that night we got to 46, which was a little bit better. That started out yesterday morning. And then yesterday, believe it or not, we got to 76. That's kind of pleasant, and it wasn't too bad out there. And everything was around. We had deer, we had turkey, we had everything across the front yard, watching babies, doing all sorts of things. The animals were really quite ambitious yesterday. This morning, believe it or not, it was 48. And then the fog developed. Okay. So here we are, it's the end of June. So what I did was summarize the month for you. It's been cold and it's been wet. We ended up 1 inch over in precipitation for June. Most of it came in 3 rather large downpours. We no longer get the kind of rain you can go out and say, hey, this is nice, and walk around. Nope, that doesn't happen anymore. You go outside and you get drenched instead. And that's where most of it came from. But we ended up with 6.13 inches of rain for the month. So then I said, okay, let's see where we are for the year. Because the excess in June made up for the shortage last month. We're still 4 inches over where we're supposed to be. That's an entire month's worth of precipitation. And as of right now, that leads us to think, if it continues, we're going to have another very wet year by the end of it. We'll wait and see what Mother Nature does. I mean, understand that now the tropics are getting a little bit active. All we need is one of those tropical storms to come up and dump 3, 4, 5 inches of rain, which sometimes they do. So we have no control over that, so we'll wait and see what happens. What's today going to be? Try low 80s. Push the humidity up this afternoon. The real hot day is going to be tomorrow. Expect upper 80s, maybe even in some places touching 90. But then what's going to happen for Saturday? A cold front's coming into the area. Okay, you take warm, humid air, you take cold air, and guess what you get? Rain and perhaps thunderstorms. They're not saying too much yet about what kind of thunderstorms are going to be. Let's hope it's none of the serious kind. You know, it's kind of nice to look at the lightning and hear the thunder, but not have to worry about the winds blowing you away outside. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. And then, believe it or not, we're going to have another 4 or 5 days of really nice weather. And when I say really nice, we're going to be upper 70s to low 80s, so it's not going to get overly hot after that, at least up until about Wednesday. Then we'll see what happens after that. So nothing terrible is heading in our direction. And you know what? I can deal with a couple days of 80s, considering the fact that for the entire month of June, we were 3.5 degrees below normal per day. You know, when it's 1 degree, you don't pay much attention to it. That's a little warm spell here and a cold spell there. But 3.5 degrees below normal, that tells you there was more of this kind of weather than there was the other kind. And you might remember we had a number of mornings in the 30s. And for June, that's extremely unusual. Yesterday, my brother said my furnace turned on. And I said, yeah, because it was cold in the morning. And then, of course, it shut off. But you know what? We need to stop burning our fuel now and save it for when the fall gets here, because the price is only going to go up. I'm thinking of maybe calling the oil company and saying, maybe top me off for September in the next couple of weeks, because I don't see it going down anytime in the future. But we'll see what the pocketbook and the checkbook say about all of that. But other than that, nothing horrible's coming, so go out and enjoy it. And it looks like it should be one real nice holiday weekend. It's going to be totally clear and be in the 70s for the 4th of July. Go out and enjoy it, have your barbecues, and have a great time. And we will be here on the morning of July 4th, so you'll see me again this coming Monday. And have a real good one.
To subscribe, advertise, or sponsor WeatherWords, call 607-464-4009.